Welcome back to the Frontiers once more. It is the second edition of self-regulation because it's a very important conversation, and we feel like there is more need to dive more into this conversation, talk more about it, and take it to the next level. And this episode is actually focused on the impact of influencers and the toxic crypto education that we've seen in Africa, and how and where it's going and how it's affected Africans. So I think I'll continue what we are discussing before we jumped on the podcast is the when crypto came into Africa as a technology, and we have a lot of notion built around that is hackable, is unhackable, is pure, is holy, is everything good. There was never a dent or a sin attached to blockchain as a technology. Like, the promoter has actually sold us the story of it being the very alright technology that would destroy the banks. And today, people are losing millions because when you look at what is happening right now across Africa, you see that a group of influencers have actually caused a very huge problem where you have some Bitcoiners, right, promoting something I call toxic education, right, about cryptocurrency to users. That have actually set the mindset of users to actually have this sense of safety that doesn't actually exist. Because if you watch your Google Chrome browsers recently, you see that Chrome changed that padlock. I don't know, is it Jordan? Have everyone seen it? That padlock. Yeah, they made it to be a switch. Do you know why they made it to be a switch? The reason why they made it to be a switch is because of so people thought that in the beginning, in the past, people thought that if it's a padlock, is secured. Google noticed that, and because of that, people were getting hacked. A scammer can just get a domain and go and start hacking people and create a fake website and the rest of that. So Google was like, you know what? Let's change it to that something like a switch icon, like a button icon, like a switch icon that you have right now. So to psychologically, it's not in the minds of users, this might not be secure, this might be secure. So it allows the users to do more research. It allows the users to go more deep, to look into things more. But that mindset is what we need to build in crypto in Africa, because this is all safe mindset. It's not the truth, because it's a reality and we have seen it. So Isaac, I don't know, definitely, getting what I'm trying to talk about.
I get what you're talking about, because there's this the way it is now in crypto, especially with the influencers, is that they have approached this from a very very wrong perspective. And when you call them out, they are always quick to tell you, they are always quick to bring up the Jesus quote and tell you, if you are without sin, cast the first stone. That's what they are all about, because they make it to seem like we're just being too paranoid about youth, and when they're actually doing what's wrong. They need to begin to preach the right thing. They need to begin to preach the right thing and stop giving false narrative about crypto.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Jordan, are you here? Because before last episode, because we talked about Bitcoiners and the toxicity of the education they push. Because I'm not afraid to say this. Like, many people would be afraid to say this, because if you watch the obedience movement in Nigeria, you kind of like liken it to the Bitcoiners somehow in Africa. If somebody says something against one person, everybody hates the rest of them, right? Everybody hates the person that said that. But I just believe that we have a huge problem with toxic Bitcoin culture. Like, it's causing a harm than causing a good. Most Bitcoin influencers are actually pushing centralized entities. It's not supposed to be so. If you're a Bitcoin influencer, because seriously, they're not supposed to be called Bitcoin advocates. They are influencers by default, because many of them are just there. They don't understand the technology. They don't understand private keys. They don't understand hashing. They don't understand halving. They don't understand anything about Bitcoin. They have never gone to GitHub to go and look at Bitcoin source code. They have never go to Bitcoin mempool to go and look at the transactions. They don't understand any single thing. They just see the tweets and the Bitcoin ninja tweets, and then they jump on the bandwagon and keep making noise. And
Elon has even enabled them. Now they are all content creators, so that it's going to keep
like
pay them out.
content. So like it's a very big problem, Jordan. Like I because we just finished our last episode and we're just having like afterthoughts, like post-production conversation, or like, you know what, let's jump back and talk about this. Like, let's be like a second episode for this, because it's a very terrible experience for this, what these Bitcoiners are doing.
Yeah. It's I think from the previous episode we talked about standard, and I think the standard does not only cut across on regulation or self-regulation. It also cuts across how education is done. How are you educating people about blockchain technology? Because I believe most people have been talking about blockchain or Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency as one of the way to make money. And when people come and join in and find that they are not making money as they are supposed to be, then that's where now such issues start arising. They start promoting things that are not even things that gonna rug pull people. And I think that is one of the way that standard needs to be. Yeah, I remember there was one episode of Ivan on Tech, and the rare tools now, the rare tools which we are moving on to different blockchains, moving on to their tools, even Bitcoin itself moving into a rare tool. The proposals have always been to increase the transaction time, not the transaction time, but the transactions, the number of which transactions can be able to be handled by Bitcoin. And I think if, like we mentioned earlier, if we are still acting up like, let me just say it, little children, that we don't want to upgrade this, we don't want to do this, we don't want to do that, people who have malicious intent will be coming and messing up with the system, with the system, and they will be making it more even expensive to even build for those people who are building, like seriously building. And I think education should be done in a better way. Should be done by a person who has done something in the blockchain system, like in the blockchain itself. If it's a curriculum, it has to be approved by people who are in the industry. They approve that this curriculum is the best way to be able to teach people. But not somebody who learned about blockchain the like today, and then they say that they are teaching and training people about something, you know. They are training people to be such and such. They are training people to build something.
I for me, brother, it's a very big problem, because you can't train people.
It's become part of the upskill.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just the content creator industry right now, because everybody, I think users should beware. Just beware of this bullshit. Let's call it what it is. If you are using a platform, or you go online on social media and somebody is selling you a cryptocurrency and you check it out, it's not looking nice. Even if the money, let me be very clear. It's better you have your money and not lose your money than you invest your money in something you don't understand and you lose your money. I definitely believe the idea of risk is, if you don't take risk, you'll not get there. Bro, risk is nice, right? But always ask yourself, what is in for the person promoting this? Like, what is the person trying to get out of this thing that he's promoting? Always ask that question, because the core need and the ideals or tenets or primitives of the blockchain is self-custody, transparency, openness, and connectedness. Like, decentralized but connected and open. So those things are not being preached. affects is vulnerable to hacks, is vulnerable to manipulation. People can, because of the barriers to entry are too low, people can come in, create fake cryptocurrencies, and take your money and walk away. And bro, and when they do that, there's nothing you can do about it. You cannot go on the internet and go and chase them. So we have a group of influencers in Nigeria, everywhere across the continent, creating currency, because most of these new currencies you see don't have anything they're doing. It's just created by a bunch of folks in the ecosystem, and then they take it out there to take people's money. So I just believe we have to do a lot more in talking and shouting on top of our voices, because as Jordan mentioned in the last episode, people are losing trust. Seriously, it's harder now to convince his mom to buy crypto than before. So I just believe, like, we should have, like, for the builders particularly, there should be very serious open-mindedness in the space. Don't just stay on the altar of one blockchain and promote it like as if it's the savior of the human race. We have to be progressives when you're building something for the future, right? Let's say you promote, let's say let's make the Bitcoin transaction more faster. Oh, let's introduce layer 2s. So people will start screaming in their bedroom, like as if they're coming to take their lands in the village. So I just believe influencing will not save us as an industry. Compliance and regulation and ethical behavior will. Like, no matter how much and how long we tend to pretend and sanctimoniously present ourselves as the saviors of the fiat system, or we're going to break the needs of the bankers. Bro, chill. You're seriously joking. You can't go to war with your father and win. Be very frank. Like, you can't go to war with your father and win the war. So I think we have to be very strategic about what we're building. We have to all be smarter than where we are right now. We have to be more open. We have to listen more and take actual corrections, because I used to say something to my team. Working in crypto is an opportunity to change the future. You have an opportunity to do something that can actually define the future of human race and how people transact and move money. It's actually kind of a big deal. I think it's like being a priest or being a pastor. So carry yourself in that light, and I think we are all going to be fine at the end of the day. But for the influencers out there scamming people and telling them rubbish, beware. Karma is a bitch and it's going to get you one day. So I just believe there is not much to say about this. All right, we said it all. We've actually talked about it, but I will still go around once again. Maybe closing thoughts. Jordan, Isaac, anybody wants to go first? The floor is open.
I don't have anything much to say anymore apart from what you said. They should beware. That's all.
For me, I'm gonna finish up with the same as from the previous episode. We need honesty, respect, and accountability. When you have respect for others, you want people to also respect you. You want people to consider what you are building for them. You want people to be able to listen to you. But if you don't have respect for people, they will not respect you. And it goes also to the entire ecosystem. If you have respect for people's money, then people will always respect you, your services. You also need to be like accountable, like accountability. Remember, every time you are doing something, you are impacting somebody's life, either positive or negative. And if you are not accountable for your actions or your responsibility, then then above all, it's having honesty. You have to have things. You have to do things with honesty, and those are, I think, they are also some of the characteristics that comes into accountable when you talk about Bitcoin on blockchain in general.
It's actually encoded into the technology by default. Accountability, honesty,
accountability,
hard-coded. Yeah. So and
exactly.
yeah, people should actually people should be able to promote those things, because I think it's been a very good run. It's been a very interesting conversation. Talking about what nobody talks about is a big deal, right? So it's top of mind for folks building in this space. Keep it on top of your mind and you're going to succeed. For those out there trying to do the right thing, promoting self-custody, building what needs to be built, I think keep doing the good work. Don't lose hope. I think we're all going to be fine. The bad actors actually plenty these days and spoiling, let's say, they're spoiling show for everybody. So, but we are going to be, at the end of the day, I think we are going to do just fine. Just keep dear to the truth, hold it still, and build the right things. Don't get discouraged by what you see in the news, because there's so much bad news when you open your Twitter about Web2, Web3, and the Web3 space in Africa. But I think we are going to do just fine. Yeah, I think it's a good one, and it's a very interesting episode talking about this conversation with my co-host. I'd like to thank our listeners once more, and thank you, and see you guys next episode. And remember to subscribe. If this is your first time of listening to The Frontiers, please subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating. If 5-star is good for you, you can leave a 5-star, or rate us in any podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, and any place you are listening from. And also, you can also check us out our website to see our last episode. Just go to get-yuki, that's GET then YUKI, get-yuki.com. Check out there, open the website, you will see our podcast. Just click on it to take you to the podcast page. You can see our past episode. You can also follow us on Twitter, Yuki Hold, and then also on LinkedIn. Just search Yuki, YUKI. You can also see us there. The Frontier is brought to you by Yuki. Yuki is a Web3 as a service infrastructure company in Africa, building the future of compliance and custody. From us to you, have a good one, everybody. Thank you.
Yes.